Why did you have more than one child when you had it right the first time? Hello! It's a special broadcast today. So, I've got two very special guests here, my father and my mother, and of course, Natalie. And this is a very special edition of Natalie and Alfred sitting in a tree. And the idea behind today's video is, so Natalie gets to ask my father and mother 2 questions about me, my past, or whatever she wants to, and I get to ask 2 questions, and then we wrap this up before it gets out of hand. Natalie, question number 1.
Can you go first and start off the mood?
Okay, question number 1. Mommy and Daddy, what did you guys really think when I left my day job or I said I was going to be a stand-up comedian?
Ek was baie bekommerd oor die finansies want wie sou nou vir jou gesorg het? Maar okay. Ek het nou maar net gedink ek sal maar my spaarboekie maar met nader trek.
My maat en hom gevra, she still asks, is he now alright financially?
Okay.
And Daddy, wat het Daddy gedink?
I didn't worry. I knew he's got my genes in him.
Oh goodness.
Not the pants.
I just worried who's going to pay the medical aid.
Because for everyone to understand, I graduated with a BCom degree, and which took a lot of sweat and tears from everyone sitting on this couch to get done. And then I was working as a marketing person, and then one day I told my parents, listen, I'm doing stand-up. I remember telling my father, every time I went on stage, my father would go, oh no, that's no need, full-time, it's a nice hobby. It's a very nice hobby, but you have a day job. Until one day I told him, Daddy, they pay me this amount. Then he started saying, he shifted. When they started paying me a certain amount for gigs, he went, you must now tell the people at work, this is what you do.
Okay.
That's hulle moet net verstaan. Okay, question number 2, Natalie.
Okay, Mom and Dad. How was Alfred growing up? Because like from the stories that I hear, he was nothing like what he is right now.
Very quiet and reserved.
That is so...
Can't believe
so
the Alfred
crazy.
that I know now is not the Alfred that grew up in front of me. I is still seeing geweest.
But what changed though? What shifted? Because it's so weird to hear that from your mom. Like it's just, what shifted in him to be like this, all out in the open? You know, there's nothing that holds him back now.
Oh my goodness, Joburg like it for me.
Oh really? Yeah.
I think
Probably. Actually, that's a very good point. Yeah, yeah.
No, I think Alfred always were going to be like an outspoken person. He was always just very careful with what knowledge he had. He didn't want to go out in the open if he didn't have his facts in a row.
Oh, okay.
Or his ducks in a row, as other people say. Because from small, hardworking, always prepared to work in the shop, always prepared to do something to earn his own money. I mean, he didn't go to people long then he started working at Musica. That was just like a sideline job while he was at school. So yeah, no, I always thought that he was always well spoken. It's just that he used to keep it back.
Yeah.
Because he was never sure.
Yeah.
And coming from Hanky and going to pee to his cousins, which was in the city, there's always something that you're scared about, man. You know, because you always think, I come from the small place, and I think in Johannesburg especially, he found out I don't have to be scared.
Yeah.
I am who I am.
Yeah.
And he's made it work for him.
I feel like Joburg does do that to you as well in general.
Tell them. Gaan we Daddy nie 'n paar skone koop. So the for me,
Ek soek
'n paar green cross. Dis
Really
best.
It's
comfort.
And man, up until now, I can tell you that I'm quite impressed with the life that him and all my kids are living in Johannesburg, because it is as if they've now really grown into themselves, all 3 of them, for that matter.
That's a nice thing to
They've
say.
definitely chosen their own path and
Yeah.
sort of
I never,
like aspired.
the one thing that me and Margie never done, we never grew our children in such a way that they must come and work in the shop, or they must go into a certain direction. Mommy's a teacher, so you can also become a teacher.
Yeah.
I never wanted that.
Yeah.
I wanted them to choose their
To find their own
selves.
Yeah.
And I think in that way, I think we've done some winning there.
Well, I can definitely learn from that. Yeah.
This feels like Felicia Mabuza subtle. My next question is, why did you have more than one child when you had it right the first?
Wow, Jason and Lauren will be.
Why do we have to
You are so full of yourself.
Why do we have to split the inheritance now? I'm just joking. My thing is that, to answer your question about when I turned, I was very shy. But around the age of 13, I figured out if I make people laugh, it sort of takes away the attention from me. And that, at 13, it was like a light went on. And if I get to one day interview some of my teachers, they'll also say this stuff. My mother is, by the way, my standard 1 teacher. Anyway, so like, I said mommy once in the class in the Kreko Pak. But anyway, so my second question is, what must I ask now? So the transitions, right? With we come from Hanky, we had a shop. It was really our lives. So what do you make of this change? You know, especially now over lockdown, what do you make of it going from a few people watching, because my dad watches the YouTube videos and my mother is the one commenting because they've got a joint account, you know those vibes. Anyway, so what do you make of this change? And is it weird for you to see so many people responding to something that doesn't seem abnormal to you, and you can ons know our whole lives already? So is it weird to see people starting to, you know, sort of take to the brand and the comedy and the stuff? Is dit vir Mamy snaaks?
Dit is iets om aan gewoon te raak, want die baie van daardie mense wat so kommentaar lewer weet nie eens dat jy familie is van hulle nie.
Is it?
Ja, ek hou hulle maar aan die donkerte.
So people don't even know it's my family. Ek weet ook.
Ja, baie van hulle weet nie dat jy is eintlik hulle familie nie, maar hulle lewer nou kommentaar, nou los ons hulle maar daarso.
Is it?
Ja.
My ma lees alles.
Ja, ek lees alles. Ek lees elke kommentaar so.
I feel like your dad's the first one to click like on every single
Ja, nee, hy like and love alles. Ek lees net.
The moment you post something, and Adriaan like.
Hulle sê vir Alfred, die verlede week se ding wat die kommentaar, almal sê my kind het 'n groot kop. Hoe moet ek
Kan.
Want ek kry dit by my so.
En Ethan het ook
baie verstaan.
Ethan het mammies. I look more like my mother, I think. And Ethan like Nesse Oma. Brein neus en groot kop.
Nee man, moenie dit sê nie. Ek is mooi.
Ek het ook brein neus. Anyway, and Daddy, what do you think of the shift? Because I remember my father always used to say, because once we got into the business of comedy and I was doing comedy, he used to say, you really need to get moving now. It can't be a small thing. If this is going to be your life, it's got to start showing the volume in town. So what do you think now?
Now, from a business point, I'm quite happy. But the question that you're asking about the people following you,
yeah.
I always thought that if it does get to where it goes to social media in this way, that you'll be fairly successful, because most of the stuff that you're speaking about is the background of the thing is honest. So you might be putting it in trying to put it in a jokey way, or being sometimes not using the nicest language and so on. But it comes from an honest place, and you're trying to. And because of that honesty, the people out there on social media is all about the same standard of people. And those people like the honesty. And because of that, the one will be telling the other one, did you see this? because it makes sense, you know. There's an honesty about this, and we like it. And that is why I think you're getting the support at the moment that you're getting, and I think it's going to become quite big afterwards because there's a lot you can do with it, but you have to use your own imagination all the time.
My dad is always worried that I run out of material. But also, my parents, my mother specifically, is very concerned about the language and the type of stuff I put out.
What parents wouldn't be?
Yes, ek het niks tyd vir vuiltaal nie. En ek het ook niks tyd vir goede onderkant die bel nie.
Sis! Sis! Natalie! Jy moet nie vlietjies op die camera.
I can take the language. As long as it's not, I mean, a vile language. I can take that. My bottom line has always been, as long as it puts bread on the table.
Oh yes, that's right.
Put bread on the table. But under the belt is also not my thing. I don't want to sit there embarrassed. You know, I sit and watch some of these clips and some of the comedy that other people do. And I sit alone in the room and I get shy. And that shouldn't be like that. Because the language they're using or the stuff that they're saying is not appropriate. And there's always a chance. There's always a chance that there's a child going to watch this thing.
Yeah, that's the
downfall.
My mother doesn't like. My mother gave me a phone call to say she like die video van my ek sê ek wil Natalie se palletjies drink. But you see, there was also like I can't be that sensitive, so I have to also like balance it out because I've gone through phases of comedy. There was a time where I was very rough, and then I realized that I want to entertain more people, and for that to work, I needed to clean it up a lot. So I wasn't always a saint. I wasn't really filthy. You came to the shows, but you know, it takes you time to get into who you are. It only took 8 years before I got... It takes time before you start recognizing and realizing who you are on stage. And I'm just basically emulating the background that I come from. But anyway, my mother thinks I'm like my father, but the humor actually comes from my mother. That is the thing that most people will tell you. My ma praat ook net soos 'n labbadskeer. But anyway, en that's
Adriaan Berie sê altyd ek praat ook net wat ek wil sê om te sê. Ek wil net vir Natalie sê hierso. Ek is baie bly dat sy so geduldig is met Alfred, want ek sal hom al geklap het as ek Natalie was. Want partykeer as dit so onnodig, hy kan sommer sien Natalie die lus vir hierdie grappietjies nou nie, maar toe maar.
Heel dag die lusie, maar ek moet.
Maar jy kom getrou so wees maar geduldig.
Natalie.
Dankie, mommy.
The cup is in the camera's line. They can't see you.
So I have 2 more questions.
You have, two more?
2 more.
I thought they were, okay, then you
So
must...
enough about you now.
Okay,
This video is not really
As maar
all
jy het
about
tevrede moet
you.
wees getroud.
Kom, let it come.
So I want to know. So we always talk about this and we always joke about this. So you've got 3 kids, and they all 3 have the strongest personalities in the world. How do you, as a mom and dad, manage that? Like, how do you deal with that when you don't always agree? Sometimes you agree, but it's difficult because the one doesn't agree with the other one. The one agrees with you, the other one doesn't agree with you. How do you deal with that? How do you manage it? Because that must be a very difficult task for parent.
Natalie, kom jy nou so diep afgaan?
Nee, dit is so. Ek is nou die ou ma van 3 verskillende mense, 3 mense met verskillende persoonlikhede. Alfred het 'n sterk persoonlikheid. Jason lyk nie asof hy 'n sterk persoonlikheid het nie, maar ek dink van die 3 het hy die sterkste persoonlikheid. Hy rol hulle, hulle weet net nie. Lauren, hel. Sy luister na niks wat 'n mens vir haar sê nie. Maar daarna dan moet sy maar weer sê acknowledge. Jy moet hulle balance. Jy moet net sê al 3 is myne. En al 3 is dit 100% jy deel het met die 3.3% tussen die 3. Soos ons kom kuier hierso, ons 'n bietjie by Alfred kuier, 'n bietjie by Lauren kuier en 'n bietjie by Jason kuier. Ons is geneig om Jason af te skeep en dan kry ons dit by hom. Maar die beste ding is om gaan discuss dit maar eers half vanaand in die kamer as jy 'n issue het. En dan kom jy wat die paas ook nog iemand wat jy die probleem eers moet mooi iets sort mee en dan kom jy aan hulle.
I think that for me is probably your difficult sort of position to be in, because you've got 3 totally different personalities.
And
you have to you need to manage it.
Altyd.
It's not easy.
I think the fortunate part with us is the way they grew up.
Yeah.
I never really got involved when they had disagreements.
Yeah.
I let it run out, play out.
That's good.
So
though.
they sorted out themselves.
Yeah.
From small.
Yeah.
And even now when they have, because the bigger, the problem is the same, but it looks as if it's bigger. And if you just allow them to sort the things out a little within themselves, play neutral, and just keep it in the way that you're not taking anybody's part.
Sides,
I might be spending, you know what, I think is coming through on, like, I've got a Facebook. Even though Margie's on it more than what I am.
Really?
But in the posting of stuff on Facebook, I do that. And on that Facebook, because Alfred's business is social media and out there.
Yeah.
Every day I'm really posting stuff about Alfred.
Yeah.
And Jason is not coming into play, and Lauren is not in a photo.
Yeah.
And now and again I put it, but because they now aware their income and their bread comes from other sources.
It's not the same at all.
So I'm marketing my son here.
Yeah.
You do the same thing, I'll be marketing you as well.
Yeah, of course.
But it's not necessary. And I always thought, maybe the one thing I'm thinking more of the other one, or even the people out there might be saying, die man het dan 3 kinders my. Hy post net van sy een kind is wat die hele tyd. It's not like that.
Yeah.
But to get that thinking right in the children and the 3 of these heads, that's
but you
so
support
important.
them in different ways.
And I mean, they came to the party in such a way that they like it like that, because they realize that this is their brother's income. And that is where they must have respect for the other one and the other one and so on. So that's how we do it.
Yeah.
I think we got lucky in a weird way, because I'm 6 years older than Jason, and I'm 10 years older than Lauren. And so, because there's such a big age gap, it only, like, now it's really working out. Because we sort of, now I can give advice back, and I get a lot more advice up from Lauren and Jason. Like, for example, Jason has been part of producing all of my live shows. He's part of doing the extravaganza now. He's the thinking behind that. Lauren has been part of giving advice on what kind of marketing, what things will work, sending me videos of people that are doing interesting things. So it's been great that way. We've grown to, you argue throughout, but we've grown very close now, especially now in our older age, because the age gaps are huge, man.
But I think also, like, business aside, Jason supports you in so many other ways, you know, like, because there's so many times where there's a decision that you make and it's not business related, and the first person, well, it's always Dad, but you'll phone Jason for advice and he'll always say this and this and this. And then there's other things that you phone Lauren about, because you know what kind of person she is, and
Lauren's been a great balance for us, because 2 boys fight sometimes. And Lauren's been a very good, like, break, like, letting that male toxic ego get out of the way.
Oh, and I spy.
Anyway, last question, Natalie. You said you had 2. Is it clear?
Man, it's not really a question. It's just how do you find, like, the fame of Alfred's social media and everything? Because I'm pretty sure there's, like, a lot of people that come to you and talk about Alfred and whatever. Like, how do you find the fame? Do you like the exposure that this has brought to you? Do you like being the private person like I was, still am, still trying to be? Very difficult.
Very difficult.
It's weird now.
It's a bit weird.
Ek is 'n introvert. Ek is 'n mens wat hou daarvan om in die limelight te wees. Ek wil liever in die agtergrond dinge doen. Is vir my, is my kind, is my oudste, my firstborn. En is vir my interessant hoe mense, een van my collega's het ook vir my 'n boodskap gestuur om te sê hulle volg hom in iemandsdorp en dit maak my goed voel. Ek is excited om te hoor en dan lewer ek ook maar my kommentaar. Ek hou nie juist van die limelight nie, maar ek is excited vir hom. Ek handle it. Ek is the mother, the queen bee.
It's weird that you become, like the honest truth is you become popular. The weird thing is because I'm not famous as yet. I think it's bubbling now. But there's you become more popular at home first. Because people see you on TV at home, it's a big deal. So like it goes out and out and out. And now it's weird because we walk in the mall and it's now in the mall. And you walk in Cape Town and people know you in Cape Town. So I think very much we're still getting used to that as well. And Daddy?
I love it.
Love it.
No explanation there. No
I'm a people's man, and I'll tell you why I love it. I mean, tons of the people that, except for the people out of PE or the Eastern Cape, most of the people in the Eastern Cape I know that's following out.
Yes.
And for some weird way, I've met them along the road, or I know their parents.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time I have worked with the parents, or I know the parents from somewhere. And this now gives me a chance really to get deep into to people that I knew.
Yeah.
And even I sometimes was scared. I wondered, can I still go and speak? Because I saw these people 50 years ago.
Yeah.
I've been to school with them.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Now people are coming out and saying, hello, Aaron, how are you? You're Asian when you do.
Julle groei jou nie so nie. Is jy Alfred Adriaan se ma? Sê ja, ek is Alfred Adriaan se ma.
Yeah. So that, no, I like it because it keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, but I'm sure it makes you very proud as well.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Oh, yes.
We proud of all of you, including the children that came step onto board, and my grandson, and I mean, Jesus, we're so proud of every one of you. That is why we come to Joburg so now and again. But yeah, we like it.
It's a fun thing. Like I'm not gonna be like people go, ooh, I'm not famous yet, or we are not famous yet, but we more recognized definitely now after lockdown. But they are lying to you when they're saying, oh no, the fame is overrated. It's nice when people come up to you and they go in a positive light.
Yeah.
That you're nice, you know, they like you and they want to take a picture. So like if you see me in the street and you are like, oh, moet ek 'n foto vat, moet ek 'n foto vat? Trust me, I'm not going to be rude to you because I worked hard for that.
Van die plaas, man.
Nee, jy het hard gewerk and it's nice when people say, yeah,
yes.
Sometimes you can't and these things happen. Jy hardloop na die plane toe, jy het 'n probleem, but it's 99% of the time, it's just nice. It's a nice thing. You can be famous for horrible things. That's terrible. But this is a very nice thing. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up.
So, Mom and Dad, do you have a question for us?
Yes. Next for
Maybe Maggie.
Nee, ek wil net in conclusion sê ek is bly dat hy hierdie idee gekry het van video's maak. Ek was baie bekommerd aan die begin. Maar wat vir my positief was, is dat baie mense wat dit gekyk het, kon deur die lockdown gaan met 'n smile op hulle gesigte oor al die bokmis wat Alfred gepraat het.
Bokmis. Ek het sommer sit en skree. Bokmis. Anyway, so yes. Also, last question before I go. How has having a grandson changed you?
A lot.
Harde koppe die geskree nou die hele tyd.
Ja, sê. Nee, hy is net 'n plesier. Hy's 'n extension van ons, van julle. Ons is julle ouers en hy is 'n extension van julle en van die dag wat hy gebore is, het ek eintlik uit die skool uit gebly om hier te wees want ek wil eers sien hoe lyk my kleinseun en ek
They're the only grandchild and the first one so far.
Geniet hom van
There's
die
a very
eerste dag
simple
af.
way to say it. He's the light of our lives.
Hy doen.
No, he's fantastic.
Ja, nee. Yeah, dis
And
een
you
van die
people-
highlights, yes.
And the way that you people are still staying and living in Johannesburg, and how much friends that you people have made in Joburg without all this. I mean, Jason, Lauren, you, Natalie, and Treble, and all of you people. You know, it's such a positive energy for Johannesburg. It's so positive that people in the Eastern Cape are wondering, I wonder when is he coming home, or when this one is coming home, just to come and visit and say hi and so on. So we hope this pandemic goes over, so that we can get
back to our
mix
lives.
nicely again and
Yeah.
have good times again.
Yeah. Anyway, so my parents are not going to be here for the extravaganza. I'm trying to get them to be here, but they may not be here. But there might still be something in there. But anyway, that is the end of this very long segment. But I think you're going to enjoy it. Sharp. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.